Yo, welcome back to another video. This is a recap of the Game Awards. We've got about 30 games I'm going to be showing here. There was actually more, but I think these are the ones that stood out to me the most. But there are the other few indie games in there that I didn't cover. Obviously, if I've missed any, please do let me know your opinion on them in the comment section below. We clearly saw that Spider-Man did a clean sweep of winning absolutely nothing. Baldur's Gate, as expected, took everything. In fact, it was such a big showing for Baldur's Gate that when they actually wanted to announce a shadow drop for Xbox, Jeff Keighley actually didn't allow them to do it and told the Baldur's Gate team to get off the stage. There's actually a sign in the back that was telling them, wrap it up now, move along, get off the stage. That's pretty damn disrespectful, not only to the development team who actually poured their hearts and souls into making Baldur's Gate 3 what it is, but also to the Xbox community who are hoping to get that announcement and enjoy it during the Game Awards. But as it would be, Jeff Keighley decided it was not to be, not on his watch, as it were. Well, that aside, we got some great reveals on Xbox. Before we get into that, a word from our sponsors.
You perfect.
If you travel a lot or have limited space or simply want a second monitor that is portable, or maybe you are looking to turn your smartphone into a full-fledged laptop, UPerfect has the screen for you. Whether your needs are for gaming with screen sizes from 15 to 18 inches at 120 to 144 Hz, providing you that crisp, smooth display at 2K resolutions, or you need it for work purposes ranging from single to dual and even vertical monitors, enabling you to be as productive as ever, providing you with the best form of productivity. Or maybe you are looking for something more unorthodox. UPerfect has you covered with options like the U-Dock, allowing you to dock your phone to a lap dock. I know, it sounds cool, right? This provides you with that laptop experience with a screen and a keyboard, while all the power comes from your smartphone. Smartphones today are extremely powerful, so turning that into something more productive like a laptop is a simple procedure by connecting it with a cable to your lap dock. Whatever your needs, UPerfect has you covered. Even better, UPerfect has partnered with me to provide you with a $30 discount on purchases over $200 when you use the code TheChaosLounge30 at checkout. All the links are in the description below, and remember that all purchases support me and the channel. We will also be doing a review of one of the monitors that I've purchased, and it should be arriving, so do look out for that as well in the upcoming weeks. Thank you so much. Now on to the regular showing. Okay, with the sponsors out of the way, let's get on with the show. Of course, we got HellBlade 2, as you're seeing on screen. This looks absolutely phenomenal. It looks brilliant. It's breathtaking. If you haven't played the original, I highly recommend you go play it. If you play it on the Series X, you actually get the performance mode as well, so you can run it at 60 as opposed to 30 on the original Xbox One. Seriously, guys, this is absolutely a phenomenal game. And, you know, graphically, this looked insane. If this can keep this presentation while delivering on that quality, I think we can have a game of the year for 2024 already. And I know that's really early, but throughout the whole of the Game Awards, I don't think I actually saw anything else that impressed me quite as much as HellBlade 2. So this, for me, was like this stole the show for me, pure and simple. We finally got to see Hideo Kojima's outing with OD. Now, we don't really know much about it other than the fact that it's going to be like a movie-esque kind of horror-style delivery game. It's going to be using the power of the cloud. This was originally supposed to be on Stadia, but Stadia decided that Kojima wasn't good enough for them. And of course, Phil Spencer stepped in. We don't really know much about it. This is the first reveal, but we had a movie director that came on. I forgot his name right now, but he's apparently quite big in the industry when it comes to horror movies. They're working on a collaboration with this. Now, the first thing I heard from PlayStation fans is, oh, look, it's a movie game. I mean, the irony of that is insane, right? The irony, they're complaining that it's a, it's a movie-esque experience. Now, Hideo Kojima loves to do things that are out of this, they're out of the norm. out of ordinary. He likes to do firsts, and for him, this is a first. So hopefully the game actually turns out to be good, enjoyable. I'm looking forward to it. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Now, the next one actually released a bit of controversy. We saw Blade by Marvel Studios being announced on Xbox. Now, there was actually no branding, no Xbox Series X, no Game Pass, nothing. It was just blank. Now, obviously, just like OD, Blade has no release date. It's in development. I suspect this is actually not going to come out during this, the cycle of the Series X. And because they can't really announce the actual next console's branding because it's still in code name, that information can't be put on the actual placard. They could have put the Xbox logo, I guess, but they didn't. So now there's a whole controversy about PlayStation fans thinking Blade is coming out for PlayStation. It's not coming to PlayStation. I just believe that this game isn't going to be released in time for this generation of consoles. I think whatever's coming with Blade is going to get cooked into the next console and will be a launch title with the next Xbox console. Now, of course, that being said, like I said at the beginning, no actual name for the console, no branding, no nothing. So they can't actually put it on there. They could have put Game Pass at the very least, but they didn't. So who knows where this is going, but queue up another 2 years or 3 years of controversy when it comes to Blade until Microsoft make an official announcement. Metaphor Re Fantazio is coming fall 2024. It's from the development team of Persona. It looks really good. I really like what I saw here. I'm a big Persona fan. I've played Persona 4, Persona 5. I'm going to be playing through Persona 3 Reload. I did try to play Persona 3 back in the day on my PS3 with the backwards compatibility, but it kept on crashing. It was one of the games I actually got the backwards compatible PS3 for, but it was the only game, one of the only few games that actually didn't work because of the maps basically crashing the game. It was really annoying and I couldn't play through it. But this is going to be my opportunity to play through it. I'm really looking forward to it and it is a good game. But Metaphor Re Fantazio is basically of a similar vein. It looks really damn good. It's a new franchise for Atlas, and I'm really hoping that this game is successful because just like the Persona series, it hits that niche, and I think this can hit that niche too. So a shadow drop appeared, well, a semi-shadow drop, I guess, with God of War Ragnarok. They announced a DLC which is free. It's called Valhalla, and it's basically like a roguelite game mode for God of War. Now, I was actually hoping it would have been actually proper DLC, but it's something for the community to at least play along. I mean, they didn't really get anything this year outside of Spider-Man, which won absolutely nothing. So giving them something a little bit extra is actually pretty good because, it has been a barren year for them. Now, for those of you that like Rocket League, you are seeing Rocket Racing. Now, this actually dropped today for PC. It looks awesome. We didn't really get to see much of gameplay. It was all kind of a CGI trailer, but it's Rocket Racing. It's Rocket League. It's kind of same thing. It looks good. It's a kart racing or racing type of game. And yeah, I'm definitely going to be checking it out. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Again, the final game for this year that was shown during the game, the Game Awards was Warframe. Whispers in the Walls trailer dropped. Now, this drops on December the 13th, 2023. It's Warframe, right? If you like Warframe, you're going to enjoy this. If you're not a big Warframe fan, move along. I mean, from the trailer that I watched, I'm not that big of a Warframe fan, so it just looked like more of the same to me, much like what I would expect with any other game of this genre. You're either interested or you're not. But it was worth a mention here because Warframe is a big enough game to get in my mentions. Now, we have a bunch of games that are available in 2024. Black Myth Wukong is releasing August 20th, 2024. Now, this game has been ongoing for a little while, but now we have an official release date. Graphically, it looks absolutely amazing. It looks really good, and aesthetically, it's delivering. Hopefully, it will deliver within the combat as well. Now, from the gameplay I'm seeing, I don't really know much about this game other than the fact that it just looks interesting. I've spoken to a few people who have told me it's more like a Souls type game, which could be good for those of you that like Souls. The only Souls game that I really have enjoyed, honestly, is Lies of P. I really like the aesthetic. This looks graphically insane, but whether it will be good or not, time will tell. Once the game gets closer to launch, we'll know for sure. February the 29th is going to see the release of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, the sequel to Final Fantasy VII Remake, the second in the lineage of the trilogy, is finally landing on PlayStation 5. Now, this is an exclusive to PlayStation 5, and despite the kind of camaraderie and rebuilding of connections between Square Enix, I genuinely don't see Final Fantasy VII ever leaving PlayStation 5. But for those of you like me who are fans of Final Fantasy, Rebirth will be landing on the 29th of February 2024. Now, this next one is really cool and weird at the same time. We didn't really see much in terms of gameplay. In fact, I don't think we saw anything in terms of gameplay. It's called Lost Records. Now, if you have played Life is Strange or are a fan of Life is Strange, you'll be right at home with this one, with the controversy, decisions, and at the end, it kind of has that, it almost made me it reminded me of the movie It, you know, when the kids grew up and they turned around and said, "Why are you contacting me now? It's been so long." It kind of gave that feel, and it feels like that's what they're going for with this. So it's one to keep an eye on. I'm really kind of intrigued by this and will definitely have my focuses on this. This one is arriving late 2024. Now, another PlayStation exclusive, Rise of Ronin, will be landing March 24th. For those of you that like Ghost of Tsushima, this is probably going to be up your street. Again, this is, from what I've heard, aimed at more of the harder difficulty, unforgiving gameplay, but it kind of follows that Ghost of Tsushima style of aesthetic, samurai, feudal Japan, and it looks absolutely stunning, as you would expect from these sorts of games. So if this is your crutch, if this is your thing, if you are on the PlayStation, this is one you probably want to check out and have a go at. Suicide Squad is landing 2nd of February 2024. Now, I can't really say much about this because I am still under strict NDA, having been in the closed alpha. So what I will say is that this game is going to land February 2nd, 2024. The trailer looks good, is as far as I'm going to go with this one, because I don't want to get into trouble. Now, Tales of Kenzera ZAU is going to be released 23rd April 2024. This is a side-scrolling 2D platformer which actually looks really good. There was a backstory told before revealing the trailer, but honestly, I think the actual trailer itself speaks for itself. It does what it needs to do. It actually sells itself. This to me actually looks really, really good. And if you are into these sorts of 2D platforming, kind of Metroidvania-esque potentially type of games, you'll definitely want to check out Tales of Kenzera ZAU when it launches 23rd April 2024. Now, for those of you that are looter shooters and love going about with your Destinies and your Warframes and the Divisions, the First Descendant, which has, been around being tested for ages, finally has a semi-release date. And by that, I mean it's coming summer 2024. The publisher Nexon dropped a trailer for this. It actually looks pretty phenomenal, the trailer. We saw one of the new characters, Aqua, who is, I think her name is Abby actually, but she's actually really damn good. And if you want to check her out, I've got a video on my channel. Feel free to go check out a gameplay video of hers out. But the First Descendant for me is actually one I'm really excited for. It's a looter shooter, but yeah, it is free to play. It is going to be available on all platforms, so no matter where you play, you're good to go. And from what I recall, it is going to be cross-save as well. Square Enix also revealed Visions of Mana. Now, this actually looks awesome. It's pretty much the type of RPG I enjoy. It is a JRPG. It looked really nice. The combat looked really nice. Aesthetics look really nice. And if you're a Mana fan, you're going to be right at home. Now, there wasn't an actual official to-date release date other than 2024. So for those of you that are looking forward to this, I suspect this is either going to arrive mid-24 or late 24. If it was early, they probably would have said early 2024. So I guess the development is still ongoing and they're kind of planning for a mid to late 2024 release. WindBlown is another game that was shown, and this one I wouldn't really wouldn't really be my cup of tea, but it actually looked all right. It actually looked interesting. And I think we saw a bit of gameplay. This is going to be released on early access for PC in 2024. So expect a proper release of this, like a final release, sometime in 2025. But it hits that 2024 tier list for me because it does release early access. Now, this next one is totally weird, right? Totally bonkers. It reminded me of Pingu, of all things, if you know that cartoon. It is called The Big Walk. It is just weird. It looked so weird that I have to actually play this. It's just one of those things. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it's trying to do. I don't know what it's trying to convey. I don't know what it's trying to be. But it just looks so weird and wonderful and fun and just weird. I just have to try it out and see what it is. We don't have the only release date we have for this is 2025, so it's quite some far away. And from what we've seen, it doesn't look like we've seen much of gameplay. There was a little bit that could have been gameplay, but for most of it, it was just a trailer. Next up is Monster Hunter Wilds. Again, this was just a quick kind of reveal that it exists, it's a thing, it's coming 2025. So for those of you that love Monster Hunter, this is coming on all platforms on PC, Xbox Series SX. It's also coming on PS5. So hopefully you'll enjoy this if you're a Monster Hunter fan, and it'll be good to go. Now, the next list of games actually has no release date at all. It was more just, hey, this exists, we're a thing, let's go. So first we have Exoborne, which is a multiplayer extraction shooter. Pretty much what you would expect from a multiplayer extraction shooter. It does what it says on the tin. We know we've got Marathon coming as well. This actually coming before Marathon could also hurt Marathon if it's actually successful. It looked decent. Again, there was no gameplay. It was just a trailer. So we can't really go on much outside of what we've seen. I'm not a huge Extraction fan. In fact, I'm not an Extraction fan at all. But for those of you that are, this could be one to keep an eye on. Now, this next one is actually damn awesome. Exodus. I actually went into this thinking, what the hell is this guy talking about? Why is he even here? What is he doing? And then the trailer revealed, and now I need to know more about this game. There was a bit of gameplay for it at the end as well. It looked a little slow, a little clunky, but there's no release date. So I don't expect this to come out until 2025, maybe even 2026. But 2025 is a reasonable assumption. But again, Exodus actually looks really damn awesome. I'm really looking forward to it, and it is something that I'm definitely keeping my eye on. I actually had zero expectations, then I had less than zero expectations, and then it quite rightly ranked up there with really good expectations because it looks good. Harmonium is a game that wants to show the life of a deaf child in a world almost Disney filled. It looks actually okay. Now, it's not for me. This is definitely not for me. But for the younger generation, like my daughter, she will absolutely love this sort of game. So for those of you that have kids, this is put in there purely for that reason. But yeah, it's one to keep an eye on because just like Kenna, which I didn't think would appeal to me, Kenna did. Kenna is actually a fantastic game. Now, I'm not saying Harmonium is going to be on that level, but what I'm saying is keep an eye on it. It could surprise you. Now, this next one is Jurassic Park Survival. It is brilliant. I love the trailer. The homage that they paid was beautiful. I loved it. It was great. Now, I'm not really one that's big on survival games. I ain't. I don't like them. But this one I'm going to give an exception to because I grew up with Jurassic Park. It's a part of my generation. So I love it. I love the originals. I love the homage they paid to the originals in the trailer. We didn't really see any gameplay, but I'm still excited. Well, we did actually see some gameplay right at the end, but I'm very excited for this one because it's Jurassic Park and it looks like they've actually finally done Jurassic Park justice. Kemuri is a game that basically was revealed by a single developer. I think there's a small number of people working on it, but it feels like it's mainly focused by one person building it. Kemuri is focused around Tokyo, Japan. It looks very cultural in that regard. We didn't really get to see much in terms of gameplay, if anything, but what the trailer showed seemed interesting enough for me to be interested. Now, I know a number of you may not be interested in this game because it is very far out there in terms of a Japanese cultured game, but it looked good enough for me to put it on my list, and one that I'm looking forward to. So it's definitely going to make a placement here, and I hope that the developers on this actually produce a really good, successful game, because it looks good. It looked good. Again, it's just a trailer, but it still looked good. Last Sentinel. Now this actually looks phenomenal. Again, no gameplay. A lot of these have no gameplay at all. It's just CGI, which is a little disappointing, because what you see in the CGI could be completely different to what you're seeing in the actual game, right? It could literally be a top-down view with nothing, like a, you know, it's weird. So you got to set your expectations. But from what we saw with Last Sentinel, especially the little bit of story that was there during the trailer, I actually liked it. This actually caught my interest, and I hope it's actually going to live up to the little bit of interest I actually have, because if it does, I'm very interested in this, because this is the type of futuristic game I like. So let's see if that delivers. Light No Fire, Promise the Earth. If you don't know what this is from Sean Murray, the developer of No Man's Sky. He made a bunch of promises, the exact ones he made during No Man's Sky. So you can pretty much expect this to be a dumpster fire when it releases. All jokes aside, hopefully they don't go through the same mistakes. It does look like they're using the same framework as No Man's Sky, so it shouldn't be as bad anymore. They've got the framework there already, so it shouldn't be a No Man's Sky anymore. But, you know, he went ahead and decided that he's going to promise the world. Again, I think he made way too many promises in this game. The trailer looked really good. It looked impressive, but whether they can deliver on that is another thing. He has actually been quoted as saying, "Oh shit, just look on screen right now. Those are the tweets, right?" I don't need to say more. I mean, he realizes what he did, whether it was in jest or in parody, the way he delivered this game, who knows? But all good. SEGA came out with guns blazing. They revealed Jet Set Radio, Shinobi, Crazy Taxi, Golden Axe, Streets of Rage, and said more. All of these games are being remade, redone, reworked into next generation outings, and I for one couldn't be happier. Jet Set Radio is a phenomenal game that I loved when I was playing on my Dreamcast. Crazy Taxi, Golden Axe brings me back to my Mega Drive days. Genesis for you guys. Shinobi is Shinobi, right? Streets of Rage being fully remade. Amazing. I mean, what can I say? You know, I'm a big Sega fan, and these are the games that I've been wanting for a long time. So, with that said, bring it on, Sega. Bring the greatness on. Let's go. The final game on this list is going to be the first Berserker, Khazan. This looked awesome. Absolutely brilliant. If you're a Berserker fan, you're going to love this anyway. But graphically, aesthetically, combat-wise, it just all ticked the right boxes. The only box it didn't tick was the release date. Hopefully this won't be too far out. I'm guessing all of these that I've mentioned, from Exoborne all the way down to, you know, the first Berserker Khazan, will be either 2025 or 2026. So they're quite far out. But that is a recap of the Game Awards. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Spider-Man didn't win anything, despite being nominated for 7 nominations. IGN is already calling this rigged by saying that they didn't actually win anything. Yeah, it's already happening. They've already got tweets out saying that despite being nominated for 7 nominations, they won nothing. And you're already seeing this sort of thing going about. What can I say? But at the end of the day, just remember, folks, just remember that Spider-Man 2 won as many awards as Redfall. So the next time they want to talk about Spider-Man, you can always bring up Redfall, which, by the way, is actually turning out to be a really good game now. So hopefully we can actually stream that maybe tonight during my Chaos Lounge stream, or tomorrow on Saturday when I get some time to go live. Anyway, that's it for this video. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Remain legend.